Good morning, everybody. It's Sunday morning. It's 8 o'clock. This is Dean Greenberg, and this is your Money Matters show. As you know, usually we record the show on Friday, so you're going to be interested to hear how I'm able to come in and talk about what happened yesterday, which was Saturday. I thought it was important enough on my monologue to come in on Sunday morning and to give you my unscripted interpretation, common sense of where we go and what's going to happen, because we all know yesterday is a very black eye in American politics. The assassination attempt on President Trump is not a very good look, but it's honestly wasn't unexpected. It's one of those things that happen in our lifetime that you look back and they become iconic, but you can't believe you're going through it at the time. We're in a situation in America that at a point with the rhetoric at the top of both parties, you just knew something like this, unfortunately, was going to happen. Thank God President Trump was not hurt, but it's unfortunate some of his supporters were not only hurt, but also killed. It's unfortunate that we can't have our own opinions without people coming to the point of violence and to the point of assassination. The media has a lot to do with this too, and they better take some responsibility. But in the end, it's real clear to me there are two images that we are looking at in this election. We have the Democrats that put up President Joe Biden in a debate and are now calling for him to step down, retire, move away, because his ability to speak, to be coherent, to understand what was going on was obviously on full stage for the world to see that at his age, he does not have the same energy faculties that he had when he was younger. Let's just put it that way. So they're in a disarray, and all they're doing is coming back and talking about how horrible Trump is, and that was just a one-night bad display, and lying, democracy. But at the end of the day, all they've been doing for 4 years is hiding him. So they had that one image of the debate that is embellished in our minds. And now we have our other image of the other candidate, President Trump, who was almost assassinated by the stroke of God. And I believe when your time is up, it's up. It was not his time up, and there's a big reason we need him now to be voted in as president. And his picture, his iconic picture that will go down in history of him getting shot, getting up, blood on his face, and still ready to look at America and say, fight, fight, fight. That is a toughness that we do not get from the other side. It is a toughness that has been leaving America for a long time. It is a toughness that the powers to be at the top don't want us to have, because they want us to be able to get along with everybody in the world. But what we're not recognizing, the world only recognizes toughness. If you want to be number one, you got to be tough. You're going to make people mad. When you are a leader of the biggest nation in the world, when you're a leader of the biggest corporation, if you're a leader of any company, if you are the one in charge, there are times that people are not going to like you because of the decisions you're making. But they will always respect you if they believe that you are tough enough to protect them. When we look at Democrats and we look at Biden and we look at what they have done to our country, we do not have that feeling of strength and we do not have that feeling of protection. But that one picture of President Trump standing up with blood on his face, raising his fist, saying, fight, 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 is saying, I'm here for you. I'm here for you. I'm not staying down. I'm not just going ahead and being whisked off here. I'm looking at America and saying, I'm not taking this sitting down. We are going to fight for America. And I'm not talking about physically fight. I'm not talking about violence. I'm talking about allowing America to be what we need. He is the man. Yes, he's had a lot of faults. Yes, he did things that a lot of us don't like, the way he came across. But you know, he's actually not been doing that lately. He has not been cutting down people, making fun of people. He's been talking about the facts that have been going on in what he was able to accomplish and what the Democrats were able to accomplish. Somehow they both think they're the best. Somehow they blame each other for everything else. I know it's not going to happen, but if we were lucky Americans, what happened yesterday, which is so tragic, is if we could bring the temperature down of the things that have been being said by both sides and just let each side concentrate on who their candidate is and what they've accomplished in their eyes and what their agenda is going forward for the next 4 to 8 years. You let the Democrats do what they want to say and do, and you let the Republicans and Trump lay out their plan. Then we as Americans get the right of one vote with a voter ID to vote for who we want. You could tell us all day long, Biden, that you're going to close down the borders finally and you're going to have a plan. What is your plan? What is your plan for everyone that's in the United States already? What is your plan for overseas? What is your plan to get down inflation and keep it there? And the only way you can convince me you understand this is if you convince me you understood why it went up to 9% before it came down. Stop blaming Trump for everything from the pandemic. You talk about how you created the most jobs in America. Well, it's very easy to create millions of jobs when we had absolutely no jobs in the world. None. The supply chain was shut down. We shut down the world because of the pandemic as the last time you got in as president and were able to make rules in each state to be able to change the way we voted. Oh, everybody forgets that we had pandemic rules for voting. I'm not even going to go down conspiracy rules or anything. We had a pandemic. They changed the rules. The Republicans let them. Boom, they won. We should have the same rules before we had that. We need voter ID set up. Let's vote. Tell me what you're going to do for our economy. Don't tell me it's the greatest economy, because I hear the greatest economy on the other side. It was. The difference is, Biden, with your economy, regulations keep going up. Yes, the market's going up, and yes, we are very happy with that. But it doesn't feel like a strong economy. It feels at any time the rug could be pulled out and start tumbling down. You have given free flights to illegal immigrants all over the country and put them on cities and put a burden on cities that can't afford it. It doesn't matter how left these people are in these cities. Nobody wants illegal immigrants coming in and creating crime in a time that they didn't have it. What are you going to do about the crime? And how are you going to deal with the world? The biggest thing I saw the other day, you kept talking about NATO. We had a NATO conference that came in, Biden. And you were talking about how great it is to have Finland come in as part of NATO. And you have 50 countries to come together to support Ukraine. My question is, and not one person asked you this question, how much are they going to pay? How much is Finland paying towards NATO? Is it the same share that we all paying? You're a big talker about paying fair share taxes. I want to hear fair share countries. Same percentage of GDP for every country that's part of NATO that we are going to protect and pay billions and billions of dollars to protect. Same thing with these 50 countries that you said are supporting Ukraine. How much support are they giving? I don't want verbal support. Verbal support is no different than China saying, I support climate change, but we're the only ones paying. But you think that's cool that we're the only ones paying because we're part of this Paris climate accord, and we pull out and you blame Trump for not wanting climate change. No, what we don't want to do, and you're a big proponent of it, is be the only one paying and everyone not paying their fair share. So what is your agenda, Democrats? What is your agenda? I don't want to hear you talking about Trump's a liar. I do not want you to be talking about how bad he was as president. I don't want you to talk about lies about he said there would be a bloodbath if he doesn't win. I don't want you to keep talking about January 6th and how he created it. I don't want to hear any more lies about Russia. I don't want to hear any more lies about what he did in New York. You've done everything you could to this man since the day one he walked into the office. Everything. The one thing you did not do was support the American people and allow him to at least have 4 years of showing what he can do for America. And even under all those circumstances, he got oil prices down and he got jobs up and he got jobs for for people of color. Records, and you want to take credit for it. He also had peace in the Middle East, not a war. He didn't have Russia going into Ukraine. You did. He was in conversation with China and North Korea, and Iran was useless. These are things that nobody wants to talk about. Tell me how you're going to change about it. Now we talk about the issues, the real issues, without calling each other a liar. President Trump needs to be president. It's as simple as that. We're at a time in our career, in our lives, that we need a president that is going to be tough to the world, tough to businesses, and tough on crime. And it starts with the border. That's what we need. We don't need softness anymore. That doesn't mean you have to be mean, and it doesn't mean you don't have to be nice. Doesn't mean we don't have to be peaceful. It means if you are not a good person and you step out of line and you hurt someone or you do things or your intentions are bad, you are not going to be able to be part of America. Shut the borders, open the borders for the people that need and want to come here for the right reasons. I can't tell you how many times I've told you my plan would be to a public-private enterprise to where you come across the borders, you go into a school, you learn how to speak English, you learn your trade, and then the private sector ends up using it as a job center, whether it's for agriculture, hospitality, technology, dentists, accountants, doesn't matter. But it helps America get stronger. When you look at Biden, you don't see strength. When you look at that iconic picture of Trump, you see strength. The world, the bad actors of this world only understand strength. And too many woke, weak people that we've allowed to grow up in America are that way. People that hate America, to me, are weak because they don't understand the difference and have not done one thing. Yes, we have problems. I'm not going to lie about that. We have problems, and we deal with it. I understand we had police problems, and believe me, the outcome to us having police problems, the way we handled it, is we have less police and more violence. That wasn't the way to do it. It was about more education, dealing with it more, dealing with people inside, putting better leadership in. It wasn't about defunding the police and making it to the point that no one wants to be a policeman because they basically put their lives on the line every time and can get fired and lose their pensions for the family at any time. And it's the same people that are accusing them for things that they did wrong. Why? Because they're not in that position. Well, guess what? We, as the people that have been supporting Trump, are now hurt with one of our own family members. Trump is like a family member, and we are standing up. We are standing up. I don't want to hear the left tell me anymore, including my own family, on how horrible Trump is and everything else. And the CNN and MSNBC and all you idiots on those commentary stations better start looking for the good in everybody. You talk about good and everyone should be good, but you never look for the good. There's no way that we can live in a society of American today and hear the Republicans say if Biden gets in, democracy is gone, and Biden's group says if Trump gets in, democracy's gone. I'm telling you right now as an American, democracy will never be gone. You know why? We are stronger as people when people finally understand what democracy and taking it away is. We will fight for it. We will fight for it. There are certain things that happen during our lives that unite us. I'm not saying yesterday's going to unite us, but what it's going to do is give us the ability to maybe move more to the middle with both sides. I talk to a lot of people on the left. My whole thing when I talk to people on the left is I'm going to go ahead and get them to agree that we can agree on some things. They never believe we can. They think we want to hammer them on the head. We do. At the end of the day, they agree that something has to be with the border. Something has to be done with crime. Something has to be done with inflation. There you go. There are things to do. What we saw yesterday was a tragedy. A tragedy. That we have political violence that is led by both parties, okay? Both parties' rhetoric is very, very difficult. The difference is really simple right now. The ones that create the violence are the left. But the left says that the right is the one that is making the violence. Violence has increased over the years by the left. Black Lives Matter. Okay? What a joke of an organization that turned out to be. But they poured billions of dollars into Black Lives Matter all over the place, wrote it all over the streets, all over the signs, everywhere, and the leadership of Black Lives Matter were just ripping off their people. Black lives do matter. White lives matter. Brown lives matter. Yellow lives matter. Everybody's life matters if you're an American. You want to get rid of racism? Stop telling everyone what color matters. It's all about an American. Red, white, and blue. Stop trying to cut down regulation on everything and stop spewing out lies about everything out there and over-exaggerating it just so power and money can come to your party. We need to shut down the border. Both sides agree. We need to get down inflation. Both sides agree. We've got to keep creating jobs, good paying jobs for everybody. Let both sides agree. But let's see the plan. The one thing I don't want to hear anymore, and I want you to think about this really, really, really closely. Biden wants to increase taxes because he believes we got to increase taxes and everyone pay their fair share. Trump wants to lower taxes. Sit and think about this. How many hundreds of billions and even probably trillions of dollars we give away across the world over time? Think about it. How much money do we give away to different people across the world, from NATO to disasters to wars? If we can give trillions of dollars away, we are being taxed too much of as Americans. So don't tell me we have to tax us more. Tell us how we tax us less. Improve American lives. We become stronger, and now we can help everybody else out. Don't open the borders and make it like everyone can come here because we're not ready for them. Shut down the borders and let them know if they're coming here, they have to do such and such and such to be able to become an American. They have to learn how to speak English. They have to go ahead and have some type of effect on the American economy, not just drain our health care and our tax system. So we can help the people that we need to help, that are Americans in these inner cities that live worse on the streets than these people that come in that don't even belong here. I'm saying the way it is. I'm telling you straight the way it is, and people don't want to talk this way. Oh, it's offending this person, offending that person. Screw the offending stuff. Let's talk truth, common sense, and let's get some solutions out there so we can move on as a country. I don't want to hear violent talk on either side. I don't want to hear that if one person or the other person gets in, it's the end of democracy. Stop telling people that, because this 20-year-old that went ahead and tried to assassinate Trump has no clue what reality is. And he's a smart guy. He got awards for math. Most kids don't get awards in math in high school. They hate math. They fail math. So somehow he became radicalized by some people telling him this stuff. And it's the media turning everything around. When the media tells you how horrible a person is, how bad Trump is, how he lies, how he does this, he's not lying. They both lie by exaggerations and forgetting things exactly how they happen. Nobody wants to lie directly until they get into trouble. Okay? I understand how it always seems that way, all right? But you know what the biggest lie is when you tell me that we took the rights away from women, right? But yet they still have the rights in different states, and the states are the ones that should have done it, when the Democrats had the opportunity for years to codify it, but yet they took the rights away. But they never will blame the Democrats for not codifying Roe versus Wade. Why not? If you started it that way and it was so important to you, then we wouldn't be in the situation we are now. Now the Supreme Court has swung a little bit to the right, and the left hate it, and every time that happens, what do? They cry. They moan. It's terrible. Let's change They want to change the rules every single time it's against us. Well, here's the rule that's going to be in now. Shut your mouths. Tell us what you're going to do if you want to get voted in. Period. I don't want to hear that other people are doing this and doing that. Run your campaign on what you can do, not what the other person did, and you lie about it. Don't tell me if Donald Trump gets in, democracy is done. Because last time you told me he got in, the markets were going to do bad, we're going to go into a recession, that we're going to go into World War III. Everything you say, Democrats, is exactly the opposite what you do, and not the Republicans or Trump. The whole deal with Russia was not Trump. It was Hillary. Everything you do with Iran, it's you getting them off, allowing them to have money again and start looking for nuclear weapons, not Trump. It was you, Democrats, that allowed them to give money to Hamas and have a war with Israel, not Trump. He had the peace accord. It's you that opened up the borders and allowed people in and created crime, not Trump. He shut down the borders. Yes, as a country, we're coming back from the pandemic. We all need that together. We could not survive without going forward and putting out money. But you had very bad plans and made bad decisions, especially cutting off oil at the beginning to let oil prices go up over $100. We need to stop this. Come together, unite, talk Republicans what you're going to do. Democrats, you talk about what you're going to do. What's your agenda? Let us as Americans finally feel less stress. Media, bring down the heat, and let us vote, one vote, voter ID in November, and let the best man win. Thank you for listening. We'll be back with the rest of the Money Matters Show and the group from Greenberg Financial Group.